when we talk about the orientation class of IFS, this is the first class for your batch. And when we talk about the most important session, it will be this one only. Why I'm saying this? Because if we do not know the strategy, how we should approach this particular exam of IE and IFS, then it will be a futile exercise to push ourselves towards reading the chapters alone. Exam, then definitely you stand a chance to crack this exam in the single attempt. Good evening everybody. We have Jyotsna, Soham, Sandeep, M. Viru, Girish, Piali. Very good evening to all of you, and same greetings for the YouTube channel audience also. If you are watching us live on the YouTube channel, I want you to know that this particular session will be entirely on YouTube as well, broadcasted on YouTube as well as live. So if you have any doubts regarding the paid classes, how the paid batches, the classes are conducted there, and whether we will be able to crack this exam in the first attempt or not, which is the most asked question, then definitely you must stay till the end. Okay, you can ask your doubts as well. Fine. So yes, I can see that the session is ongoing on the YouTube also. So initial reactions of yours, since you are the bankers, the forefront runners of this particular examination, you will be appearing in the exam. So how are you feeling? We must know that. Okay. So if somebody wants to share with us that what is the feeling after, applying or trying to apply for this examination. When you talk about the actual examination, it will be held in somewhere May, first week of May. But right now, what is your take on this examination? Why you have opted for this exam, and what do you have in your mind while preparing or starting to prepare for this exam? Please let us know in the comment section. We will be going through various you can say all those important points throughout the session, but your input is also required here, because ultimately you guys have to appear for the examination. So mark this as day 0, and finally when you will crack the examination of IFS, you can tell us that how you felt on day 0 and what is the feeling right now. Okay. Good evening everyone. Shaheen, we have Kona, then Sapna, Gopal, Subharta, Kirti. Good evening all. So as this is the orientation session, we will be starting off with the basics. Okay, we will talk about for approximately 4 or 5 minutes about the JAIIB examination, because this is the first class of your JAIIB batch also. Fine. Increment 2.0 batch covers entire subjects, not only IFS. So we'll be talking about that as well. And slowly and gradually, the session will turn towards the IFS specific topics. Okay. So first thing first, what is JAIIB? So you must be knowing it is the junior associate of IIB and F. So Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, it conducts various examination related to the banking industry. And when we talk about the flagship courses, there you will find the reference of JAIIB examination. It is considered to be the stepping stone also towards the you can say towards becoming a specialist in the banking industry. So just it's a stepping stone. I know it is difficult, but according to IIBF, it's just a stepping stone. The larger target, the bigger goal should be to crack the CAIIB examination. And now, as we know that the banking industry, specifically for the public sector bankers, some banks have made it compulsory for the promotional examination that you must be having the certification of JAIIB as well as CAIIB with you. Only then you will be able to be promoted to, let's suppose, scale 3, 4 or upwards. Okay, so the importance is immense for all of you. How you should approach, we'll be talking about that. Okay, so first thing first, the JAIIB examination, there are 4 subjects. Okay, we start off with the IIFS, because this is normally treated as the first subject in the exam cycles we have seen. It is the IFS only. Right now, when you talk as of today, 7:10 p.m., 28th of November, we do not have the exact schedule because IIBF has not released it. As soon as the schedule is out, we will be talking about the exact examination dates as well. So for now, we can have the benchmark of November 2025 exam. Fine. What all subjects are there? What is the examination pattern? We'll be talking about that with reference to the November examination or the November exams notification only. So there are 4 subjects. First of all, it will be IFS. The first examination is conducted for the Indian economy and Indian financial system. Here, you have to cover 45 units according to the latest syllabus. So, big units, number of units are huge, you can say. But more than the number of units, concepts make this examination really very difficult. Then the second examination is of PPB, Principles and Practices of Banking, where you have 55 units. The most bulky subject, or you can say the number of chapters are the most number of chapters are asked from the PPB only. The syllabus is diverse, the syllabus is huge, and if you are a seasoned banker, that is, you have strong hold on the banking concepts, you will enjoy also the PPB subject. The third examination is conducted for the AFM. It has 35 units. In AFM, one thing is for sure, if you are a commerce graduate, definitely you will find this examination or this subject relatively easier as compared to the non-commerce background students. But all those non-commerce background students, you need not to worry. We have the expert guidance in this batch for AFM as well. Next, we have RBWM, the Retail Banking and Wealth Management. 30 units are there, considered to be relatively easier subject, but again, it is tricky also. This time we have seen some students who have passed IFS, PPB and AFM, but they were unable to breach the marks of 50 marks in the RBWM. So do not make that mistake. Do not take any subject lightly, be it RBWM, IFS, PPB or AFM. Give the exact amount of time which is required for all these subjects. Okay, so these are the 4 subjects for which you will be preparing under this particular increment batch. And when we talk about the overall observation or the overall common areas here, so all the subjects, you will have a mixture of facts as well as numericals. These are asked. These are asked. There is no doubt about that. Earlier, it was the pattern of IIBF that only in AFM, maximum numericals will be there. But now, in 2024 as well as in 2025, we have seen that numericals are asked from PPB as well as RBWM, and good amount as well as good level of MCQs based on the numerical questions. So facts and numericals, both things are asked in all these examinations. Then interpretation of options is required. See, the common areas which we talk about, how you should approach this examination, the most important part which you should be very, very clear from the day 0 itself, it is that you must know how to interpret. Here the game changes altogether. Even if you have conceptual clarity, even if you have practiced enough, even if you have revised a number of times, but if you have no interpretation whatsoever of the statement which is present in the examination hall, then it is really hard to crack these examination. Fine. So try to, inculcate some skills related to interpretation from day 0 itself. Try to read your circulars, the banking circulars on daily basis. That will hone up your skills of interpretation. Also, try to go through the RBI's website as well. These two, you can say, sources are very, very important apart from the sources which we will be providing you in this particular batch. Then 3 category of questions are asked: 0.5 marker, 1 marker and 2 marker. These questions more or less, you can say, define the level of difficulty also. So 0.5 marker questions are doable, somewhat doable. The medium or the moderate difficulty level lies in the 1 marker question, the most difficult being 2 marker question. And why they are difficult? Now we are seeing that after the November 2025 examination is over, IIBF is shifting the focus towards the case study based question, which were generally asked in the CAIIB examination. Now it is a part and parcel of your JAIIB exam preparation as well. That makes the 2 marker questions very, very tricky. Also, one silver lining right now, we can say that there is no negative marking. Nobody knows that whether the negative marking will be there or not till the official notification of IIBF arrives. For now, you can be relaxed and enjoy this particular component of your preparation, that there is no negative marking. We can take a risk while attempting the mock test as well. So these are the journal criteria or the journal parameters, the characteristics of JAIIB examination. Now we'll be focusing on the IFS specific topics, the areas, the orientation for your IFS. So whenever we talk about any kind of preparation, we should have the benchmark dates with us. Okay. Without that, our brain does not work in the best possible manner. Okay. So when we talk about the exam dates, keeping in mind the previous attempts, you will find that the examination will be held somewhere in the first week of May. Fine, somewhere in the first week of May, and most probably it can be the case that 3rd May will be your IFS examination. Right now, as I was telling you, there is no official intimation from the IIBF side, but going by the previous trend, we can keep the 3rd May as the date of examination for IIFS. And when we talk about the registration process, when it will begin, most probably first week of February. So from 2nd Feb, we can expect that anytime soon, once we are in 2nd of Feb, anytime soon, the registration may commence. Okay. So definitely you should keep in mind the date, that is 3rd May, so that you can prepare in a better manner. Because overall, if we see, till 3rd of May, we have good amount of time, approximately 150 days are with us, and we can prepare in a much better way because you have started early. That is the most important point right now when we talk about the JAIIB exam preparation. So you can have this date in your mind while preparing for the JAIIB exam. Now when we talk about the IFS, why it is important for us, IFS examination. See, mostly people, what we have seen over the past years, mostly bankers, they flunk in this particular exam only. This time also we have seen many deserving candidates, they were unable to crack the examination of IFS. Why? What is the reason? See, first and the foremost reason is the interpretation, which I was talking about earlier also. The interpretation of options is very much required. If you do not have that skill, then this exam will become more difficult to crack. Okay. So IE and IFS, since it is the first exam, it automatically becomes important for us because ultimately, if you qualify the first exam, it will set the tone of the entire JAIIB exam cycle. So definitely it will be setting the tone of the exam. You will feel confident, overconfident, or underconfident after qualifying or not qualifying the first examination. It is highly important to score good marks in the first examination. Then when we talk about the difficulty level, it has been difficult throughout. I think in 2022-23, when the syllabus was changed, since then till November 2025, only once the exam was of moderate or doable nature, that was in May 2025. Apart from that attempt, every time we have seen that IFS is the most difficult examination. So if you prepare this in advance as soon as possible, then you will have some time for the other subjects as well, which are also most important for the qualification of your JAIIB examination. Also, IFS requires some special practice. Why? Because of the twisted statements. There are bulky statements asked by the examiner in this exam, and we cannot be sure that whether this pattern will be replicated in the May exam or for that matter November 2026 exam or not. But we must prepare in such a manner that whether the difficulty level is easy, moderate, or very, very difficult, we must be able to qualify or crack this exam. It requires some special practice, which you should also inculcate while preparing or while you can say doing the lectures as well, that make a habit to solve the unit-wise mock test in real time. Once you have completed one particular topic, you should switch on to the next topic only after you have attempted all the unit-wise mock test. Not only this, but also analyzing the mock test. We'll be looking into that as well in the later part. Okay. Till now, any doubt you have? Any kind of doubt? Yes, WhatsApp group you will be having the access to from tomorrow. Okay, in the tomorrow's class, we'll be sharing the WhatsApp group's link with you, all of you. Okay, so don't worry regarding that. Any doubt on YouTube? Fine. Okay. So how you should approach the IFS examination? There are more or less 4 or 5 techniques, 4 or 5 steps which you must follow. Fine. First of all, you must strategize. Okay, strategy is the most important thing. The first part or the commencement of strategy starts with what? Starts with the exam date, and tentatively you can say that your exam will be on 3rd of May. That is the nearest date which we can imagine or interpret right now. Fine. Interpretation starts from the interpretation of the exam date as well. So you must strategize, you must know the important modules, units and subtopics. Although this is a very important pointer, but I would highly suggest all of you, since you are starting early, do not, from the day one itself run towards or run after the most important topics. No, try to learn as much as you can in the initial phase. At a later phase, once the notification is out or the exam registration begins, then you must focus on the important modules, units and subtopics. But prior to it, just try to memorize the all those important topics which you are doing on daily basis. Do not just run after the most important modules or units. Try to have a comprehensive preparation. Only then you stand a chance to qualify this examination. Then note making is a must. Many students, they feel that note making is not required, but if you ask me, this is the deal breaker. Okay, if you have good notes with you, then definitely you can revise them in a lesser amount of time, and the retention power of your brain will work like wonder. Okay, so try to make note, because revision is the key. If you do not revise, then everything which you have done, it will go in vain. Okay, so try to make notes on daily basis. If you have the access to the PDF, fine. We have this pattern in ADA 247 that the PDF is attached to the lecture. As soon as the lecture ends, the PDF will be uploaded. Then what you should do, download the PDF, read the PDF, the important points which you have fresh in your memory, and after that try to note down the important pointers. Fine, note it down. Why I am saying again and again? Because ultimately you need to revise, and do not feel that this is unit 1, this is unit 2, unit 3, we can make it after 5th unit. No, you won't be able to know when the 45 units are completed. Okay, you won't have much time at a later stage, because mind it, the May attempt also has one important event, that is closing. Okay, so March closing will be there, ending, the financial end will be there, and you will be involved. Being a banker, you will be involved for minimum 15 to 20 days in this process as well. So try to make notes in real time. Also practice. Fine, you have to practice. Always remember, if you do not practice the relevant MCQs, you are not in the race. I am using some extreme statements here, but these are the most important statements. These are the most important pointers. We have seen that many students, they attend the classes on daily basis. They are very much active in the class as well. But when it comes to note making, when it comes to practice, they are not practicing at all. And then when the result day comes, they will not be able to crack the examination. So do not make that mistake. Try to practice the MCQs on daily basis, and exam relevant MCQs in your batch, in your particular study material, unit wise mock tests are there, and if you are a Mahapack user, then you will be having the access to the full length mocks as well. Also, when we talk about practicing the questions, you should be able to solve the case studies as well. Initially you won't be able to solve them. Definitely you must be having certain background in various topics, but once one module is over, supposedly module A is done, module B is over, C is done, then you should start solving the case study based questions also based on the respective modules, because 2-marker questions are difficult only when we have the case study based question. Otherwise they are very much doable. So start preparing for the difficulty level as tough. So toughest difficulty level should be in your mind, that yes, on 3rd of May the exam will be of tough nature only, and that's how you should prepare. Also try to evaluate on daily basis whatever you are practicing, and be exam ready. See, expect the unexpected. The numericals can come, In this time, we have seen 1 or 2 numericals hardly were asked in one of the shift. But in the previous attempts, 3 to 5 numericals were there. So you cannot say that only numericals will be asked or no numerical will be asked. So yes, we have this particular agenda on our mind also. And I want every one of you to note this point that numericals can be asked. And because the scope of syllabus tells us that definitely there are certain topics from where numericals question can be asked. Okay, so try to be exam ready, but these things will make much more sense once you have completed at least one module. Fine. So try to practice in real time. Do not delay the process of note making, and also keep on evaluating yourself. Learn from your mistakes, whatever you have made till now. Okay, now let's move on to the syllabus discussion. The syllabus of your Indian economy and Indian financial system. IFS has 4 modules, A, B, C, and D. And here, the most important module will be module D. Then we have module B. After that, C and A. This is the pattern of IIBF for the previous, from the previous 4 or 5 exam cycles. But when you talk about module A, what all is there in the syllabus? So it is about Indian economic architecture. Clubbed together with module B, the economic concepts related to banking, you will have the discussion revolving around the economics. Fine, eco. Okay, these 2 modules, they talk about the economy, or for that matter, the economics as a subject. As soon as we move to module C, which is Indian financial architecture, and module D, that is financial products and services, we will be talking about the finance. Okay, not your financial management, but the financial institutions of your country. Okay, so module C talks about the financial architecture specific to India, and overall what are the financial products and services offered by the banking industries in India. Okay, so A, B, C, D, overall you have 45 units here. And when we talk about the classes, they will be starting from tomorrow. Aman ma'am will be starting off with module A and B, and once she covers these 2 modules, I'll be taking up module C and D. Now, the specific discussion of your various topics in the syllabus. Till now, any doubt how to prepare for numericals? Purely the numericals in IFS, when you talk about, only the conceptual clarity is required. If you have the desired conceptual clarity, then the numericals of IFS are doable. Okay, mostly you will find the questions of numerical from the module B. Okay, in module B, there is scope of asking the numerical. So module B and somewhat in module D. But mostly the numericals which are asked in IIFS, they are of the nature of simple. Simple numericals are asked. No complicated numerical is there. So if you know the formulas, fine. If you have a strong hold on the formulas, you know how to apply these formulas, then easily you can solve the numericals whatsoever the difficulty level is there in the IFS exam. Fine. Okay. We'll be looking into that also, that from where the numericals can be asked. Module B, you have unit number 14, the measure of money supply. Then we have the inflation related chapter. From there, inflation rate numerical can be asked. Union budget chapter is there. Then we also have the scope from your GDP, right? The GDP aggregators chapter. So wherever the formula is there, the scope of asking numerical is present. Okay. Now, moving on to the syllabus discussion. First of all, you should be very much clear that module A, it talks about the simple topics. And these are simple topics. We won't say that these are difficult topics, hard to understand. Anybody can understand it, irrespective of the educational background. because most of us, we know that how the economy works. The things will get interesting and a bit difficult from module B, but module A is a relatively simpler module. So Indian economic architecture, we'll be starting off with the overview of Indian economy, how the Indian economy has fared from 1600 AD till today. Sectors of Indian economy, all the important sectors, be it the primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, or for that matter, the subsectors of the tertiary sector, quaternary and quinary sector. So basic definitions, examples, these are very, very important for these particular sectors. Then economic planning in India and Niti Aayog. Economic planning, the 5-year plans, we must know how the planning commission started or established, how the 12 5-year plans, they commenced their operation and what were the outcomes of those. Then why we switched on to the Niti Aayog, why not carry forward the legacy of planning commission, all these things. Data heavy, you can say, module A is. If you are good at retaining the data points, then you won't face any difficulty in module A. And this time around in November, we have seen one interesting thing, that IIBF has asked some questions from those topics which are not directly mentioned here in module A. So that is a learning for all of us, that we must focus on the important updates as well. So whether it is the scheme based question, or for that matter circular based question, or the international organizations which are there in module A, you should not skip any if it is in news. Then unit number 4, role of priority sector and MSME in the Indian economy. Here, although the priority sector lending norms are very, very important, but in the past 2 examination cycle, we have seen that not more number of questions are asked. Earlier, 4 to 5 questions were asked from unit number 4 only. But now when we talk about the May 2025, or for that matter, November 2025, not much questions have been asked. That does not mean that we should skip it. This is the most important unit of your module A. So we'll be talking about the recent initiatives in MSME sector also. When we talk about MSME sector, n number of government initiatives are there, and as I was just telling you, you should map those particular topics with the recent initiatives. In Vishwakarma scheme was asked this time. Then we talk about the other schemes. Make in India was asked in one of the shift. So like that, all the important schemes which are in news, you should not skip them. We will be covering them, but also from your end also try to be updated on daily basis. Infrastructure, including social infrastructure, the unit number 5th. Here also the schemes part is very, very important. Be it the schemes related to your social infrastructure, or for that matter the physical infrastructure, the scheme part is very much important. Unit number 6, a very small unit. Okay, only 2 topics are there. What do we mean by globalization, how it is different from deglobalization, and what are the protectionist measures which we can take. So overall, if you have to learn that how the things will pan out in module A, it is data heavy. You have to learn good amount of data. Then you should be able to remember certain definitions. Fine. Along with that, along with definitions, you should also stay updated with the recent initiative. These 3 things, if you are doing for module A, more or less, you will score good if the question is asked from module A. So economic reforms, also important chapter. Its elaboration will be there in module C. Here certain committees are mentioned, but their elaborate discussion we will do in module C as well. So some chapters are interrelated also in IFS. FTP, the foreign trade policy, be it the 2015-20 policy, or for that matter the most recent one, that is 2023, both are important for our examination. And the initiatives under the FTPs, from there only questions will be asked. Also, what do you mean by FDI? What are the types of FDI? What do we mean by FII? And when we are doing the foreign investment, how the foreign investment can come to India, the government route, automatic route, all these processes are also important. Case study based question can be asked from this particular chapter. International Economic Organization, the recent, fine, all those recent news, all those important international organizations which are in news, they can be asked in May 2026 as they have asked in the November 2025 examination. Along with that, the World Bank, IMF as well as World Trade Organization, these these important organizations, you must know the basic pointers from all these three important organizations. Then we have climate change, SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. You must know that what are the most important SDGs, and along with that, you should also know one important topic here, which is the corporate social responsibility. From CSR also, we can expect one case study. Issues facing Indian economy, more or less, this is the culmination of all the 10 chapters, the issues which we have discussed in these 10 chapters. And to summarize all the 10 chapters, whatever issues we were facing in the evolution of Indian economy, we will discuss here. Okay. So the final discussion will be here. Again, 2 or 3 important data points you must know regarding the Unit 11. No. Apart from Macmillan, no book is required. And if you are preparing from the Macmillan, again, I am telling you, try to update the particular topics via the recent initiative. Whatever the recent initiative is, you must be able to answer that. Okay. And recent initiatives, what is the timeline? So when we talk about the examination of your May 2026, for May 2026, all the recent updates till December 2025 you must know. Okay, this is the deadline. Fine. So all the updates which are there till December 2025 you must inculcate in your notes. And if you are curious enough, if you are a reader, fine, you read newspapers, the RBI circulars, the bank circulars on regular basis, then there is no harm to stay updated till your examination as well. But till December 2025, you should be able to add all the important points in your notes, especially in your Macmillan book. If you are having the regular class, if you are appearing or attending the regular classes, then need not to worry about the updates. We'll be covering that. But if you are following the book, then definitely till December 2025, you should add the recent initiatives. Fine. Next we have the module B. So module A, you will be having 11 units. The module B talks about the economic concepts related to banking. From here, the subject, that is economics, will start. And it's not like that every chapter is pertaining to economics only. Fine. The economics subject only. Some initial chapters will talk about economics, like Unit number 12th, that is the fundamental of economics. The definitions are important here, definition of economics. Then the types of economies, very, very important. Along with that, you should be knowing that what is the difference between micro and macro economics. Then we have unit number 13, that is supply and demand, the equilibrium of supply and demand, whether the price and quantity demanded and quantity supplied, they are interrelated or not. What do we mean by market forces as such? What are the Veblen commodities? Why we say that certain commodities price will be, even if their price will rise, the demand will stay intact. All these concepts will be learning in unit number 13th. After that, unit number 15th also talks about the hardcore economics concepts, that is theories of interest. In an economy, you must be knowing that there are certain thresholds, certain benchmarks around which various concepts revolve. Interest rate, the rate of interest which is offered in the market, it is one such concept. And based on the rate of interest only, we discussed various policies as well, like fiscal policy as well as your monetary policy. So all the interpretation of your rate of interest will be done in the unit number 15th. When I talk about unit number 14th, from here you can say that IFS numerical journey will start. Okay, so numericals can be asked from the measure of money supply as well as measure of inflation. GDP deflator, velocity of money, then inflation rate, measure of money supply, M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, all the formulas, because only the formula based question are asked. Fine, formula based question are asked. Nobody will test you on the basis of interpretation, at least in numericals. Till now this is the criteria, but if you attend the classes on regular basis, even if the difficult question is asked, you will be able to answer that. Okay, next we have unit number 16th. 15th we have seen theories of interest. 16th talks about the phases of business cycle. Right? The business cycle overall topic or the overall chapter is business cycle. The most important part is phases of business cycle, where we will be talking about the boom phase. Then we will switch our discussion to the peak point in the boom phase only. Then how the recession will occur. The prolonged recession will be interpreted as your depression phase, and how the recovery will be initiated by the government. This cycle, overall the features, the characteristics, the parameters will be learning in the unit number 16. Then unit number 17 talks about the monetary policy and fiscal policy. The entire chapter is important. Okay, we cannot pick and choose here, because this talks about the RBI as well as Government of India's policy. So RBI's policy, monetary policy, the inflation targeting occurs via monetary policy in our country. Fiscal policy, the economic policy which government follows so as to implement the infrastructural measures, or for that matter social welfare programs. Then we have SNA, the system of national accounts, and GDP concepts. Here you should know the GDP concepts. You must be aware of the GDP numbers. Right now I think in the first week of December, RBI will be releasing the fresh numbers, but the previous numbers which were stated by RBI, it was somewhere around 6.8%. So all these recent updates you should be able to learn, revise and retain. But apart from that, the formulas are also very, very important. So what is the formula of GDP? What do we mean by NNP? How NNP is different from your GNP? And what do we mean by the market price? What is the basic price? When we talk about the market rate, how it is different from the factor cost? All these concepts, the complicated concepts, you must be aware of, because from here as well, one case study question can be asked. Then we have union budget. The union budget talks about the it is one of the part of your fiscal policy only, and the most important part is the components. Right? We have two components of union budget, one being the revenue head and the revenue account, the another head being your capital account, and how the revenue or the receipt is there in the revenue account, and how the capital account is having the revenue as well as the expenditure, and what all components form the part of the revenue head, or for that matter expenditure head. That is the most important area in your union budget. Okay. Hi, hello, Lakshmi, Anandan. Raju, WhatsApp link you will be having in the next class, that is tomorrow. Now let's move on to the module C. Here mostly you will find the questions on the financial establishments. Right? The Indian, the country of India, it has various organizations, and when we talk about the financial organizations which are there, they form the part of your module C. So Indian financial architecture talks about the bodies and all the important organizations, and need not to say that when there are organizations involved in the discussion, you must be able to refer the timeline. And you must know the timeline, that this organization came first, then the genesis of second organization started, how the organization of IDBI has moved over the period of time. When we talk about the SIDB, whether it was the part of IDBI or not, all such questions you should be able to answer in the examination. Although the concepts are very easy in module C, but the interrelation of these topics is very difficult. So you must remember the timelines, you should remember the chronological order, as well as the important characteristics of these organizations. Starting off with the overview, that is Indian financial system. This is just the introductory part. 21 unit is your Indian banking structure, where in real terms you will find the different types of banks and all the important banks, the reason why these banks were formed and how they are faring in today's world. Banking laws, the RBI Act and the Banking Regulation Act. This chapter is very important. From here various sections are asked from these acts. So if you have good retention power, definitely you will score good in this particular topic. DFIs, the Development Financial Institution, you have to memorize all the features of your DFIs, be it NABARD, EXIM, SIDBI. Fine, all these are very important. And when we talk about these particular chapters, you will not feel that they are difficult. You won't be facing any difficulty. Fine, they are fairly easy. Only challenge is how we should be able to remember the chronological order, how we should be able to distinguish one organization characteristics with the another one. That makes it a bit tricky. Next, 24th chapter, the microfinance institutions. Most important point here to be noted that MFI's updates are there. Fine, MFI, the updates are always very important. And when we talk about the March update 2025, you must inculcate, because we have seen in November 2025 exam that questions around your updates have been asked. Then we have NBFCs, the non-banking financial companies, as unit number 25. Insurance companies, 26. Unit number 27. IFS, again Indian Financial System Regulators. The most important point here to be noted is that how one regulator is different from the another. So you must be knowing the functions, the core functions of all the regulators along with the establishment year. Then we have reforms and developments in the banking sector, which is again a generalized chapter. You should be able to answer the questions from unit number 28 without any difficulty. So all in all, when we talk about module C, you should be knowing the important timelines, chronological order, as well as if your retention power is good, you will score good marks in module C. Next, we have the most important module, that is module D. Here, I don't think so that the orientation session can justify the expanse of syllabus which is there in module D. We'll be having a different orientation altogether when we'll starting the module D. But quickly, let's see that what all chapters are there, because all the chapters, all the units in module D are most important. You cannot skip any unit. Here you can see red. Everything is red. There's a reason, because all the chapters are important. So module D, the financial products and services. The first chapter will be financial markets. We'll be introducing the financial markets to our students. Then money markets, a very important chapter. From this particular chapter, we have seen twice that the questions related to call money has been asked in 2025 only, and in all the shifts we have seen this. A very important chapter, I would say. We cannot skip at all. Normally students feel that money market we have studied LTRO, government securities in our module B, so need not to study this. Don't do that mistake. Here some specialized topics are covered. Then we have capital markets, stock exchanges, then fixed income markets, the debt and bond market, very important. The updates are there which you should include. Then forex markets, fair unit, not that difficult. Interconnectedness of market and market dynamics, again a simple unit. Why? Because of the lesser syllabus or the small number of topics. Then we have merchant banking services and derivatives market. Derivatives, good amount of questions are expected. So if you know the basics, then only you will be able to retain the concepts of derivatives market. So our approach would be that we will start every lecture, every class with the conceptual clarity. If you have the desired conceptual clarity, the things will become interesting as well as easy to remember, to retain. I am focusing on the retention part because upcoming 150 days, you have to dedicate not only to IFS, but for PPB, for your AFM as well as RBWM. So if you have good retention, if you revise multiple times, then only your chance of qualifying this exam will multifold. Then Unit number 37, forfeiting, factoring, trades. These particular topics are having direct overlap for your PPB as well. So we'll be discussing them in detail. Venture capital, lease, finance, hire, purchase, the basic difference, very, very important. Credit rating, credit scoring, again, basics, only the basics we have to remember. But yes, from here, case study based question can be asked revolving around the loan appraisal, right? Then mutual funds, insurance products, pension products, these three chapters. From here, mutual funds and insurance products, you can expect numericals, and for pension products, you must prepare the case study based questions. Along with that, the basic characteristics as well. Para-banking, financial services provided by the banks, as well as your investment trust, be it the REITs or the infra investment trust. The difference, the point of difference, which type of trust is utilized by which type of organization, which type of entity, all these are very, very important. So this was the overview of your 45 units. Now, if you have any kind of doubt related to these units, feel free to ask me. Any kind of doubt. Since this is your orientation session, you can ask me anything. Hello, Anurag. Any doubt? Any doubt? Class timings, Anurag, I think the timings will be either 7 to 8 or 9 to 10. We'll confirm you. Fine, we'll confirm you in the weekly scheduler. From tomorrow, the classes will commence, and that particular time will be having dedicatedly for your English medium batch. Hello, Ramarao. Hi, Kundan. No, MViru, right now, there are no chances. Fine. As far as we know. But since IIBF is known for surprises, so nobody can tell you for sure. But going by the trend of IIBF, studying the annual report also, we don't think so that syllabus will change. Yes, Priyanka, all the new content will be there. And see what will happen. Let me just tell you once. So the updates till December 2025, you have to inculcate. Specific updates won't be there. Like we won't be giving you the notes of update. No, nothing like that. What we will be doing, we will include the updates inside the topics. So supposingly there is unit number 4. In unit number 4, the PSL norms is one of the topic. Fine. So here only we will be covering the latest update, so that you should be able to know the background, the static part, as well as the relevant current portion. Okay. So like PSL, they have changed or revised in March 2025. Then certain changes were done in May 2025 also. So what all updates are there in PSL till December, we will be inculcating them in our notes, in our PDF, as well as in the lecture. Okay. Any other doubt? Anurag, 2 or 3 numericals at max, at max. Okay. Here we were discussing that what are the important chapters from where numericals can be asked. So unit number 14th, then we have unit number 17th, then 18th and 19th. These are the 4 chapters in module B from where previously numericals have been asked. Along with that, from module D, numericals have been asked from the mutual fund products as well as insurance products. So in total, when you talk about the numericals, there are 6 chapters out of 45 from where numericals can be asked. So you can imagine that what will be the number of numericals. Okay, mostly 2 or 3. Sandesh, I'll be taking up module C and D this time. Aman ma'am will be taking up module A and B. Not an issue, Dilip. I would highly recommend that you should go through the entire class when the recording will be uploaded in the lecture in your portal. Fine. Okay, okay, Anurag. Any other doubt? No, Priyanka. There is not at all. No, I don't think so. It's not required at all. We can skip it altogether because we have seen that iibf is moving towards the current portion more as compared to the static portion, and more or less the static portion will be there in the classes as well as along with the current part. So need not to refer any other material. But yes, those 5 points you must follow. If you are not following those 5 points, then you will still clear the examination, but not with the margin which we are imagining right now for all the students. We feel that our students should crack this examination not by scoring 50 or 51 marks, but by going beyond 70 marks. That is the agenda of conducting the classes. No, Anurag, no, not required. Yes, yes. Okay, so if there are no doubts, then let's conclude the class. We'll see you tomorrow. So from tomorrow, Aman ma'am will be taking up the classes of module A and B. And once the modules are over, then C and D will be taken up by me. If you have any doubt or you are watching the recording, you can definitely ask us in the tomorrow's lecture, whatever doubts you have. That is the major agenda. Fine. Whatsoever you have doubts, they must be cleared in the lectures itself. You should not be left alone. Should not feel that yes, my doubts are not clear. No, here at Adda 247 we always believe that if the students are happy, then only we'll be able to conduct the classes with full enthusiasm. The Telegram group as well as WhatsApp group, if any, will be providing the link tomorrow. Okay. See, today's the orientation class. So it was scheduled at this time, that is 7 to 8 p.m. But since the classes will be held back to back, so we'll be informing you the exact timing tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow in the noon only, you will have the exact time. So you can check it on the app as well in the weekly scheduler or the weekly schedule column. You can directly see the timing. Most probably, either it will be 7 to 8 p.m. or late night, that is 9 to 10 p.m. These are the 2 time slots in which the classes will be conducted. And from tomorrow, whatever the timing is, it will be there till the end of your batch. Okay, Kundan? Okay, so all the best, everybody. Since this was just an orientation session, I would highly recommend all of you to go through the important pointers. And from tomorrow, when the concepts will be discussed in the class, try to download the PDF and try to revise again and again as much as possible. Do not forget to solve the MCQs, because ultimately your practice will make you perfect for qualifying this JAIIB examination. All the best. Yeah, definitely, Anurag, definitely. Thank you everybody for attending the class.